Poot's got a 3-1 count. That one's fouled away. It's Julius Rosado in the box for the Matrix. He's in the portal right now, but played at Rutgers last season. South River, New Jersey native. Started 11 games for the Scarlet Knights. The 3-2. That one's chopped up the middle. This could be another tough play, and the ground ate it up again. One run will score, and Rosado will hit the brakes at first. So the Matrix get things rolling. A good old-fashioned Moody hop to open the scoring in the top of the first, and it's 1-0 New Brunswick.
That looked a bit more like the Moody stop. That ball hopped in the air, then it hit the dirt, and it didn't bounce again. Typically, if the ball's skipping, it's going to skip, and that ball just hit a patch of dirt and died.
You never know what you're going to get with the dirt out here in Moody. You realize that quickly over the course of the summer as the first pitch to Perna is fouled back.
And now Poot's got to face a dangerous Colin Perna, a pitcher and a guy who can hit at a high level. He's batting .258 right now, but he's got 2 home runs on the season, along with a triple and 3 doubles. So there's a lot of pop in the hands of Colin Perna.
That one's down low. So it'll be a 1-1 count. Catches the corner with that one. 1-2. Poot looking to get his first out. Runners on first and second. It's Rosado and Slinser. One, two. Upstairs. Flag just rippling a little bit out there in center, going right to left. I'm not quite sure what cardinal direction we're facing, so it doesn't offer much. That one's sharply into the hot corner. It'll be into the outfield. This could be another run, and it will be. Busco has trouble with it in left. So Slickner will come around and score. That was a tough play there at third. And the New Brunswick Matrix out to a 2-0 lead before Poot can record an out.
And they're just doing what they have to do with the pitches that they're given. Putting the ball in play and then running the bases wisely and taking advantage of some speed. They got Slickner doing a great job rounding third, seeing the ball through and taking advantage of the opportunity. That play, a much more difficult one to make. But again, the Generals, couple of sloppy plays up the middle and now leading to some great opportunities for the Matrix the other way. Can they continue to further capitalize on what could turn into a big early inning?
So the first pitch, Joey Spinello, he'll fan at. Spinello, a UMass Lowell product. Hails from East Brunswick, New Jersey. Lots of Jersey guys on this team. 0-1. Swing and a miss. 67 at-bats, 25 hits, and 14 RBI for him last season. So far in the ECCBL, he's hitting .364. Which, of course, just comes out to, being 12 for 33. But that's still pretty good numbers this early in the year. The 0-2. That one's jammed off the hands and in the infield. Hernandez over. He'll make the catch, and there's one away. So Poot gets his first out. And this will bring up Carter Kaminsky. We talked about the hot hitting of Spinello to get things going. Kaminsky's lately the opposite. Through 4 games, he's just 3 for 12. He swings through that one. It'll be 0-1. You see Poot start to get that confidence back a little bit on the mound, throwing that heat that he got so used to in high school.
Well, he's recognizing that these guys are working the counts, they're battling, but it also seems like he doesn't, as that one skips away, have the best command of his stuff. But his fastball's there. We saw it in the first at-bat. He's got a lively fastball, and so looking and expecting him to kind of get back to that pitch as his other pitches are slowly getting in gear.
Yeah, it looks like that one got away and perhaps either out of play or off the umpire. Oh, it looked like it was off the umpire. Might have whacked him in the hand. It was an inside pitch, and it looked like Kaminsky kind of just scooted back to get out of the way, and J-Rod wore the worst of it back there.
I think it might have ping-ponged off of maybe the catcher or something. Just a strange set of circumstances.
So Rodriguez would catch his breath behind the dish. Runners on second and third for the Matrix. They're a team that really doesn't boast incredible numbers with regards to their offense, but it's very adequate and it gets the job done. If you're going to leave the door open for them like this, they're going to take advantage. They're disciplined at the plate. They have the least strikeouts in the league. But they kind of hover around the 5th and the 6th and the 7th spot for every other offensive statistic as that one misses outside. It'll be 2-1.
Well, a big thing is their pitching.
Mhm.
The hitting isn't exactly there, and it's kind of been just enough to outscore the pitching, but it's really come down to the pitching. And what we've seen is that when the pitching's on, they're winning games. Obviously, these numbers are telling you that, but we've also seen that when the pitching has faltered, it's costed them a lot of games, a lot of walks. We saw against the Kings, they gave up a lot of walks that ended up leading to the Kings coming back and winning that game. So it has truly come down to the pitching, and they have one of the best pitching staffs. And we'll get to see one of their better arms in Haskell once the inning finally flips over. But that's been the true tale of the Matrix up until today. And what the story will be going forward has yet to be seen. But so far, the hitting has started to come alive a little bit.
Gets a swing and a miss on the 3-2 is Poot. So he retires his second batter of the frame. There's 2 gone now with runners on second and third. And that'll bring out Will Bethea. ECCBL veteran, was in the league last year. Trying to continue his good run of form as he checks at that one and lets it drop into the dirt for a ball.
Another guy just boasting a modest 200 batting average.
1-0 is inside.
As it kind of just exemplifies the fact that the hitting hasn't totally been there, but it's starting to get there. And a big reason for that is the wood bats. And we've talked about this a lot throughout the start of the season of how a lot of these hitters swing metal. They're in high school. They're using the metal and aluminum bats. And so switching over to the wood, it's a different feel. The ball comes off the bat a bit differently. And so now as these hitters are starting to adjust, we're seeing batting averages go up. We're also seeing more home runs.
3-0. That one drops in low. So the bases are juiced in the first frame for Poot, who climbs to 30 pitches. Beyond 30 pitches, excuse me. So, we're playing just 7 innings with this being a doubleheader. And I'm sure that, in an ideal world for Braden Meskel, Poot was going to take him pretty far, but that might be out of the window now after 30 pitches in the first frame, and that one is outside. Like you mentioned, we've seen the heat for Aiden Poot. We have really not seen the control so far here in the first.
No, and we haven't seen the break-in stuff move exactly how he might have wanted it to.
1-0 skips in. Nice block behind the dish by Lacara.
But if you're Poot, this is a major spot. To get out of this inning, only 2 runs. It's not exactly an ideal start, but it's not a horrible deficit to have to come back from.
Facing a 2-0, here's the pitch. Got him on the corner. 2-1. Poot comes set. Kicks and delivers. Can't get the corner that time. It's 3-1. Bases juice. 3 balls and a strike, 2 outs for Aiden Poot. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Buffet, Perna, and Rosado on the bags. Kilgullen at the dish. The 3-2 on the way. Runners go, and he got him on a swing and a miss. There was the breaking stuff he's been looking for all inning, and the side is retired. 2 runs, 2 hits. The bases were loaded when they got out of the frame, but it's a quick 2-0 lead for the New Brunswick Matrix, and we'll be right back after this. Back with you here at Moody Park. Luke Lendler, Max Raymond to my left, and 2 runs in the top of the first for the New Brunswick Matrix. But given the fact the bases were loaded and it felt like they might have had Poot's number, they could say not best case scenario, but disaster avoided for the Trenton Generals.
Absolutely. Had second and third and still in 1 out, that could have turned into a lot more damage. That alone could have easily been another 2 runs, and then you get another runner on, although 2 outs. And so for Poot to be able to hunker down and be able to find a way to strand what was a runner that had been on second with no outs, incredible work for him to be able to hone back in his stuff and be able to show the maturity to adjust after being knocked around for 2 runs before you could record an out.
So as the Trenton Generals turn over to their offense, we're going to get a first look at Justin Hascup here at Moody Park. He started 2 games already in the ECCBL. He's gone 7 innings across those 2 starts, given up just 4 hits, just 3 earned runs, but he's walked 7, and he's hit 1, just 3 Ks. So a low ERA, a high-ish whip as summer pitching goes, and this is in a potentially, you don't want to say make or break this early in the season, but his momentum the next couple weeks could be determined by what he does here as the first pitch drops in for a called strike.
He's kind of a guy that likes to play with fire. He loves to live on the edge a little bit, let a couple of guys come on base, let them dance around a bit, but then he finds a way to hunker down and shut them out and not allow those runners to come around and score. So it'll be intriguing to see how he goes about his stuff here today, but it's just intriguing whenever he is on the mound, the way that he pitches in and out of trouble.
This one's skied into center, going back and looking up at the track. It'll drop and it'll get over the wall, home run. That didn't look like much, but the wind pushed it far, and TJ Francis is on the board with a leadoff shot. Doesn't even offer to play rock, paper, scissors with the coach over on third base, but he's beaming nonetheless. As TJ Francis gets his first home run of the year on a solo shot to open things up. Sacred Heart, where he's heading next year, they're going to love to see that.
Number 8, second baseman, Carlton Crane.
That's a response. That's how you step up and you say, as a teammate, I've got your back to your pitcher.
This one's lifted, but not nearly as far. Coming on is Spinello. He'll make the catch for out number 1. I'll tell you, we don't see a lot of – we're just going to be super honest. We don't see a lot of home runs at Moody Park. And for TJ Francis to hit one to basically not dead center, but pretty close to straightaway center with a wood bat on not even that windy of a day, he lifted that one. Nice backspin on it, got really through it. And that's exactly the kind of response, like you mentioned, the Generals might want.
And this is an MLB-sized park. We say it all the time, but you've got 330 to the corners, which, for those of you that don't know, is deeper than Yankee Stadium by about 20 feet. And then 400 out to Den Center, which is 8 feet shorter than both Yankee Stadium and Citi Field for those who are New York sports fans. But, again, that just goes to show in comparison to the MLB-sized park. This is an MLB-sized park. This is a major league ballpark. This is deep, and it's challenging to get the ball out. So when anyone does, it is truly a home run.
So Hasbuck's got to settle in now. He's at 5 pitches, his 6th. Low. Staring down Rupel. Jake Rupel, a junior at Elizabethtown College. Finally, some PA representation. Happy to see that. Washington Crossing native. 2-0 in there for a called strike. He's 11 for 31 this season in the ECCBL through 10 games. He's got 12 RBI. He's got a pair of triples, which you see more than you usually would at a park this big. 2-1. Swings through that. Looked like almost a half-hearted attempt once he realized it was going to be a strike.
Just got fooled a little bit. Tried to peel back and check up, but realized that his momentum was too much for him to handle.
2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. As Hascup picks up strikeout number 1 and out number 2.
Number 1, the DH, Lucas Albert.
I feel like if you hadn't given up that leadoff shot, I'd be looking at you thinking, wow, this guy's cruising so far through 1. So that maybe makes TJ Francis' effort all the more impressive.
Well, it does. And again, Hascup likes to play around a bit. So kind of left one over the plate.
As that one's squared to bunt, hustling over to first. He'll make it in time. A great play by Albert. Lucas Albert lays it down basically right in front of the dirt, maybe used the lumpy dirt to his advantage. It kind of died and stalled in the grass, and he hustled over to first. So Albert's aboard.
Number 30, left fielder, John Bosco.
And that'll bring up John Bosco. As Haskell's got a leadoff home run and a ticky-tack bunt on his record, but he's looked comfortable in the other two at-bats. His first pitch to Bosco is upstairs.
He's just a confident guy. He's going out there thinking no matter what happens that he's got the stuff to get outs, and that's what you need in baseball is the confidence within yourself that when you get knocked around, you still got what it is and what it takes to be able to get outs and get through innings.
Second pitch was also outside, so it's 2 balls and no strikes. Kicks and delivers. Outside. I say kicks. He really doesn't kick much. Kind of just steps forward.
Well, that's a little
powers
bit
through it.
Yeah, it's because of the slide stack because he's being cautious of Albert. Albert has 14 stolen bags on the season. I'm surprised that he hasn't taken off yet up until this point.
3-0. You get the sense he might want to stay there, but get me over strike. Puts one on the board. So it's 3-1. Albert on first, Bosco at the plate.
Haskell doing a good job of being quick to the plate to limit Albert's the threat of Albert.
That one's fouled back. Counts juiced for John Bosco with 2 outs. Penn State Abington sophomore. You can see the knee line on his helmet. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first. Haskell delivers. That one's fouled back. Slapping the fence, shaking the camera, but hopefully we're still going strong. Yeah, we look great.
I don't know what it is about that Penn State Nittany Lion logo, but I think it's one of the better in all of college, especially the D1 athletic logos. I don't know if it's just the statement, the fact that they've got such great history in all of athletics, but it's just a nice-looking logo.
A 3-2 curls outside, so it'll be a free pass for Bosco and 2 aboard for Haskell, who's up to 17 pitches. And what has been a pretty explosive, might be a stretch, but a pretty dynamic first inning for both of these offenses.
Well, I think dynamic is a great word because it kind of describes how also different this offensive production has been. We've seen the long ball, and we've seen the shortest possible hit that you could also record in a game. So it's just kind of intriguing, but also shows how different this Generals lineup can be in producing offense.
Chase Garrow at the plate now. Over 0-1 count. That one's poked foul the other way.
Garrow batting .286 so far in the ECCBL. Also has a home run. Again, we're starting to see those numbers climb as these hitters get used to swinging the wood bats and perfect their own skills.
0-2, fouled again. Shortening up and staying alive is Garrow.
But again, I find his spring of 26 so incredible with Hopewell Valley. Hit .512 and slugged .857. Just an absolute incredible spring.
But he swings through that one, and the side is retired. The Matrix, and more importantly for the Matrix head coaches, Haskell, navigate the frame, just give up 1 and throw 20 pitches. So we'll see how the strategies with the starting pitchers are deployed later on. But for now, it's Poot back on the mound. It's the Generals back in the field, and it's the Matrix up 2-1 after a leadoff shot in the bottom of the first from TJ Francis. We'll be back after this. Back with you here at Moody Park, the New Brunswick Matrix back at the plate. Leading 2-1 after a 2-spot in the top of the first was halved by a TJ Francis solo shot. But it's loose Spatafora as that one whacks him. So he earns his licks just one pitch in. And we'll saunter over to first base to take his free pass. It's not that free when you get whacked by a baseball, is it?
I mean, it still is, but it's not as nice as just simply working a walk. That kind of stings a little bit.
I'm sure every player would not mind at all if they just could stand there and take 4 pitches instead of just getting drilled. But alas, there's one quickly aboard here. As Poot's next offering is in the dirt, and that'll advance the runner. Popped away from Lacara. And, you know, with a struggling first frame, you really would have hoped, if your head coach Braden Meskel, that Poot could come out here and settle things down in the second. But right now, a fidgety start to the second frame.
Now it's Chiola back up with a walk already today. That only his second walk of the season. Quite intriguing enough, batting .364. So he's a guy that just likes to swing the bat. A rather uncharacteristic walk, as he was not too pleased with that call.
Poots 2-0, drops in for a strike. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike with a runner on second and nobody gone. His offering, swing and a miss. Got Casey Keougha going through that one.
Chiola, I feel like that's a new bat. I don't remember him swinging that, but
he hits that one pretty hard. Going back is Finley looking up, and he'll make the catch right in front of the fence. Tagging and getting in there safely is Spatafora. That was one of those, if that was a metal bat, probably a home run swings.
Absolutely. He had the launch angle and good pop on it. It just doesn't carry as much because that's just kind of how the ball pops off of the wood bats. When you get a little low liner, they are low liners, whereas with a metal bat, you can get a little bit more lift.
Poot's first pitch is fouled back to Slickner. So we're back at the top of the order for the Matrix with just 1 out in the second frame. An example of all the traffic that Poot allowed in the first frame. But that one is just outside. So it'll be a 1-1 count.
And if you're Slickner, you've got to understand the situation and have an approach of, all right, got to find a way to drive this run in.
1-1. This one's popped up in the infield. Making the catch is Crane. So there's 2 away.
That's not going to get the job done. But with the way that this Matrix team has been hitting in the offense this season and the fact that you just need to be a team that tacks on runs, especially with a pitching that can get it done, that was a huge situation for Slickner to have to try and find a way to get the run in, and he just wasn't able to do it.
So now it's Rosado. He's 1 for 1 today. Sees that first one drop in for a ball just low of the zone. Seems like Poot's been relying on that off-speed stuff a little bit more than the heat after kind of struggling to command it all in the first frame. But he comes set and delivers the 1-0. That one spun in, 1-1.
It's just a comfort thing as a pitcher, feeling comfortable, and you know after warming up and especially after an inning of what's working and what's not and what can you change to. And so if you're Poot,
that one's outside.
Understanding, and you see him, he's licking his fingers, he's touching his pants, so he's not comfortable exactly with his grips and doesn't feel like they're coming off, the ball is coming off of his hand as he wants it to. So not surprised to see him making some adjustments.
2-1, misses at the same spot. So a 3-1 hitters count for Rosado.
But sometimes pitch selection comes down to the choice of the catcher. And while the pitcher may not want to throw it because of confidence and control.
3-1, chopped over to third. Could be a tough play, but it's glove guy Galiso. He fires across and he fires away what could have been an inning-ending throw. That one was way over the head of Rupel. And so a run scores. Spadafora comes in from third. And Poot's 50th pitch of the afternoon was a bit of a chaos ball. Not his fault, but just the outcome of the play.
And now you bring up Colin Perna. Talked about it the first time he came up to bat. This is a guy that can do some real serious damage and can also be a guy who sparks a rally. So, not someone you want at the plate, especially with runners in scoring position if you are a defense having to face him.
1-0's out. 1-0 gets the corner. Looked like for a second that might have been outside, but he found the spot. So Perna, another guy who's 1 for 1, part of that little hit parade over there in the first inning. He's got a runner on first on a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. That one's chopped and into the outfield. Looked like it took a huge bounce right in front of the plate. And it'll drop into left field just in front of Busco. So 2 at-bats and 2 hits for Perna and 2 aboard for Poot, who's just trying to get out of the second inning. He was so close and basically got the ground ball to end it. But alas, he's still out there throwing.
Yeah, Rosado and Perna might be seeing something that the other guys on the team aren't, and they might relay it to it because they've both been able to put the ball in play and make solid contact.
First one is Spinello is lifted into the left center field. That'll drop in for a base hit, and it could be extra bases, and it will. Spinello's into second standing. The runner will come around third in an attempt to score. Play at the plate is in time. He got him. Great throw by Hernandez on the cutoff from short, and the side is retired. Not before damage is done, but I'm sure Poot will give his shortstop a big pat on the back for that help. It's 4-1 New Brunswick, but it could have been worse. That'll do it for the top of the second. We'll be right back after this. Max Raymond, Luke Lendler, don't go anywhere. Back with you here in Ewan County at Moody Park. Highlight play ended the top of the second, but it's still a 4-1 lead for the Matrix as that one's poked over to short. Coming on, making the play and firing across the diamond high, but in time. Never a dull moment and never a dull play in the field out here, but some guys can control the chaos better than others. And there's one away.
Number 44, right fielder, Lucas Melton.
So Lucas Melton will step up for the Trenton Generals, facing a pitcher in Haskell who gave up that leadoff home run in the bottom of the first, but has otherwise looked relatively comfortable. His first pitch, that was a knee-buckling breaking ball, drops in for a strike. That had everybody here in the press box leaning to the right, and then it dropped in. 0-1. Outside.
For Melton, just one game played so far in the ECCBL this season, 1 for 3.
He swings through that one.
But he did record a triple in his lone hit. So he's got pop and speed. I'm looking to put both on display again.
1-2, swing and a miss. And he'll sit down. Nice at-bat there from Haskell. Kind of had him chasing everything and getting whatever he wanted. So Melton is retired.
Shortstop, Sergio Hernandez.
So Hernandez will step up in the 9-hole. First pitch to him. Another curveball, can't quite catch the corner. Hernandez made the impressive throw to end the last frame. 1-0. That one's inside. Gunned down a runner on a nice relay coming in from left field.
Ferraz got a lot of off speed, a lot of breakers in this inning.
That one's rolled over foul to third. Hernandez heading to Maryland Eastern Shore next year. Or excuse me. From Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania. More PA representation. 2-1 to him. This one's popped up, tailing foul, but giving chase, and under it and making the catch is Spadafora. And the side quickly retired. Blink and you'll miss it. No runs, no hits, no men left. And cruising on into the third is Haskup. It's 4-1 Matrix, and the Gens are back out in the field. We'll be back after this.
Matrix 4, the Generals 1.
Carter Kaminsky going to lead things off for the Matrix. We're back with you here at Moody Park. Max Raymond to my left. I am Luke Lendler. First pitch to Kaminsky is outside. Has Poot still in there and throwing. He probably didn't even have enough time to get some water, much less take a breath. After a 9-pitch inning in the bottom of the second, put him right back out here for the top of the third. As that 1-0 is lifted, but not particularly far, coming over and making the play just on the edge of the infield grass.
And in both starting
Number
pitchers
19,
having
first
much
baseman, Will Buffet.
or significantly more economical innings. As we saw, Poot, 36 pitches in the first, 18 in the second. Haskup, 21 in the first, 9 in the second. Both of them starting to settle in.
First pitch to Buffet is just high. Poot on 57 pitches, his 58th. Swing and a miss.
And the big thing as we continue to move forward, a lot of these guys that we have seen, especially early on in the season, coming into the ECCBL and showing off their first innings, the ones that are on pitch counts and pitch limits, it's usually, if they're low inning, going to get a little bit of work, 40 to 50. The guys that are going to get a bit more work but still not a limit is around that 75 pitch mark is what a lot of coaches have kind of left as the benchmark for when they consider taking guys out, especially guys that are early on in the season, just getting their first couple of innings. So that's why this pitch count is going to come into play majorly as we move forward in this inning and the next, as he gets closer to that 75 pitch number.
And he got a swing and a miss there. 2-2. Got him with the high heat. And so, for the struggles that he's had, that's
Number 3.
Poot's
the
third
DH,
strikeout of the
Gil
afternoon.
Gullen.
And that'll bring up Kilgullen, the designated hitter who's 0 for 1 today. Poot comes set and delivers. Low on the fastball.
Kilcullen struck out to end the first, and that was how Poot was able to get out of the threat. So
And that one got him on the elbow. We hear a grimace and a word we can't repeat up here from Kilgullen, so that one might have whacked him on the funny bone or gotten him in a place that might hurt. But he's 90 feet aboard. Rodriguez, the umpire, flashes the thumb up, makes sure he's okay. Rodriguez took a beating from Poot earlier in this one on one that glanced off the catcher's mitt and onto his hand.
Catcher Lou Spadafora.
So this will bring up Lou Spadafora, who reached on a throwing error earlier in this one.
and he's going to fix his laces. But I was going to say, that one looked like it caught more of his shoulder and popped up and hit his helmet is what it sounded like to me. So just a weird kind of clunk that he took, but glad to see he's good and okay as now Spadafora, who also got plunked, steps into the box.
Wynn still taking that flag pretty sharp from right field to left. But there's enough swirling up there. You know, it took T.J. Francis' first swing of the game beyond the center field fence. But the first pitch to Spadafora is a called strike. Kilgullen on first. 0-1 count to Spadafora on the way. And that one misses outside. Some action in the Gens pen. Noah Hines, righty, and a UMass commit from Tinton Falls warming up. We'll see if he gets a look next frame with Poot at 65 pitches on this one. Misses outside. 2-1.
Yeah, like I had said earlier, Poot getting close to that 75 pitch threshold, so getting a guy up just in case he gets into a little bit of trouble here. Wouldn't be surprised.
The pitch. This one's lined into center field. Coming on is Francis. Will he get there? No, he won't. He drops in for a base hit. And there's two aboard for the Matrix. And we'll get the lineup card to flip over and head to the top of the order.
Number 16, right fielder, Casey Chiola.
Chiola, third at bat in his third consecutive inning. You don't see that all too often, a guy batting every single inning to start a game.
And still just four on the board for the Matrix. Now, you'd think it'd be way, way more. But it's just a 4-1 game. We've seen comebacks you and I have before last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago. Second pitch to him is a swing and a miss around the hands.
Yeah, absolutely. It's only a 3-run deficit. The Matrix, they've been able to get guys on. It's just lacking that situational hitting to drive them in.
Chiola pokes that one the opposite way. It's carrying pretty far, but under it is Melton. He'll make the catch, and the side is retired. No runs, a hit, 2 men left. And the Matrix with their first scoreless frame of the inning. Poot trots to the dugout. We'll see if he comes back out for the fourth, but for now, it's up to the Gens bats to try to cut into a 3-run deficit. We'll be back after this. Jason Zakara up to hit for the Trenton Generals as they trail 4-1 in the bottom of the third. First pitch to him. Popped foul. Still up there and throwing is Haskell. Par for the course is what we've seen from him so far in the ECCBL. You know, he gives up that one early run, but otherwise he's looked relatively in control. 0-1. This one's hit sharply to center, but under it and making the catch out there in center field.
And it seems that as the lineup card flips over, the Generals have come into this game with an aggressive offensive mindset. A lot of guys swinging early in the count. Only one batter so far, first time through the lineup, has worked it to a full count. No other batters have seen 3 balls or more. And so all these guys swinging early in the count. 3 batters so far today have only faced 1 pitch.
Talk about that being aggressive and early in counts. TJ Francis takes the first pitch, but the last time he saw a pitch, he took it yard. 1-0. That one got in. Breaker.
If we're sticking with history, 1-1 count. Next pitch in his first at-bat, a home run. Does he do it again?
Here it is. Fouled back.
He was swinging at it. He was swinging at it for sure.
It's 1 ball on 2 strikes with 1 out to Francis. 1 for 1 today with a home run. The only run of the game for the Trenton Generals here in the bottom of the third. The pitch. Check swing. Did he go? He did. So Francis is retired. 2 quick outs for Haskell.
Number 8, second baseman, Carlton Crane.
This will bring up Crane, the second baseman. Pennsbury, Pennsylvania native. Rider commit. Hit .538 last season with Pennsbury High School. School record for single season batting average. Just the first pitch to him is a called strike. OPS in the 1300s. That's one pretty good high school baseball player. 0-1. Outside.
And if you're the Generals, you might want to look to make a slight adjustment, especially with how Haskell has been pitching. He's been shutting you out. You might want to start trying to work these counts to build up his pitch count and try to get him out, especially knowing the fact that with these summer leagues, sometimes not every team has their full lineup, and we believe that the Matrix are kind of limited in numbers. You might want to force them to their bullpen, which could cause problems in the second game as well as this one. So, sticking with just this game, though, Haskell has been in control and dominating the Generals hitting. So if you're the Generals, you got to find a way to work counts and get him out of this game.
3-1. Outside. Just like you said, working a count and getting aboard is Crane. So a base runner in the second of 3 innings for the Trenton Generals. They finally have one aboard here in the bottom of the third. They put up that 1 run in the first, but still ended up getting a base runner after and were unable to capitalize. 2 away, runner on first. Rupel at the plate. First pitch to him is outside. Do you think Haskell looked comfortable with runners on so far today?
Absolutely, I do. He just seems to not be showing too much attention because he's confident in his stuff.
Yeah, but a hit and run there is executed to perfection as Crane will go from first to third and slide in safe, and the throw gets away. He thought about going home, but he hesitated. Doesn't stop Rupel from going all the way to second on a liner up the middle. And they're going to say base hit to first and an error on the center fielder. Spinella will advance Rupel from first to second. And all of a sudden, look at that. Runners on second and third, down by 3. And Lucas Albert, Lafayette commit, laid down a beautiful bunt in the first inning to reach. First pitch to him, low.
Do it again. Why not?
You think so?
I think so. The way that he was able to get that first one down shows that he's got great skill.
And he could have some pop. This one's lined into right center. Going back is Spinella. We can't make the catch. It's off the wall. Albert will get to second standing, and 2 runs will score. And the Trenton Generals strike back in the bottom of the third. It's now 4-3 New Brunswick. But the home team knocking on the door with a runner in scoring position and 2 away. Looked like Spinello might have had a tough time tracking that with the sun.
He did, and Albert proving me wrong. I'm more of a modest kind of player when it comes to managing the game of baseball. I like to take what the game gives me, and so if I had a guy like Albert, I'd like to see him bunt. But you know what? Be aggressive.
And aggressive he is. He goes to steal third. The throw down is not there. Kind of rattled away. A nice slide looked like by Albert. Made for a tough play by Slickner. And 90 feet from tying this one is Lucas Albert. With Busco at the dish.
Yeah, and Albert aggressive. And you know what? If you can go out and execute, then as a coach, you're going to let him continue to do that. And so I think Braden Meskel definitely is letting him play his game.
Pitch to Busco outside.
As Albert continues to execute, got a single, now got a double.
2-0 count. Faces Busco. Here's the pitch. Outside again. And Haskell maybe showing a little hiccup for the first time today.
A little off now with the damage that's being done.
3-0. Coryell strike there. Makes it 3-1 with 2 gone. 3-1, 2 outs, runner on third. The pitch in the dirt. And Busco will take his base. That was Haskup's 50th of the afternoon. He was being efficient, economic in those first 2 frames, but you mentioned the Generals might want to start working these counts longer. They started to do that a little bit more, and suddenly they're starting to get to him. As runners on first and third with the lefty Garrow at the plate. He's 0 for 1 today. First pitch to him. Popped foul.
But that's just what's so great about the sport of baseball is that it's it's mind games. It's the back and forth, tug of war between batter and pitcher. Because, again, these Trenton Generals batters were aggressive, so Hascup could pitch one way. Now that they're adjusting their
that one's upstairs.
Now that they're adjusting their mindset and their game plan at the plate, Hascup now has to also respond with an adjustment of his own to find a way to still get these guys out.
1-1. Runner goes, and he'll just jog in there safely. Busco, I'm sure, will love a nice tick in the stolen base column with no resistance behind the plate from Spadafora because of the runner on third. Albert, we've seen how aggressive he can be on these base paths. It feels like Spadafora's got to make sure he keeps everything in front of him. The 2-1. That one's outside. 3-1 count now.
The Generals aren't chasing those pitches. They're not trying to do damage early in the count. They're trying to wait and find the right pitch for them, and that's what's kind of...
3-1. Misses upstairs. And the Gens roll on with the momentum. The bases are loaded. Albert on third, Busco on second, Garrow on first. Haskup's at 55 pitches. And now Galasso steps up in a big spot, swinging in the outfield, and the Generals have the lead. First pitch gets the inside corner. No action in the bullpen for the Matrix. I feel confident in Haskup's arm. The 0-1. Outside.
Well, again, it's also a matter of how many arms do they have. We believe as someone now heads out there to the pen, we believe that they've got at least 2 more wings. So numbers are going to definitely play a factor into how long you've got to leave an arm out there throwing.
1-1 fouled back and off of our poor umpire. Rodriguez down there is really taking a beating. But he looks like he takes a deep breath, adjusts, stretches, gets limber. As we'll have a quick time.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. And it's been 2 outs for the entirety of this rally that the Generals have been able to put on, showing the clutch factor that you're going to need if you want to climb back to the top of the ranks and win a league like this.
1-2, chop back to the mound. Haskell has it, fires the first. And it underrated how tough that play can be, but Haskell handled it smoothly, calmly. And the Matrix maintain their lead, but not after a pair of runs in the bottom of the third. Make it 4-3 in favor of New Brunswick. Trenton getting into the deficit. We'll see if their pitching can hold just that one-run trail. We'll be back after this. Back with you here at Moody Park. And a new pitcher out there for the Trenton Generals. It's Noah Hines. Mentioned him warming up last frame. He's a UMass commit from Tinton Falls, New Jersey. Pitched 30 innings this spring with Rainey High School and went 5-2. With a 4.06 ERA in his first pitch. Square in the small of the back. He caught Slickner. And so that one kind of, ran away from him, got away from him, and the streak of base runner per inning persists. Matrix having a duck on the pond in every single frame so far. So with Hines in, that means it's the end of Poots Day. For a first start in the ECCBL, it left occasionally some to be desired with his command, but he technically only gave up one earned run despite the 4 on the board. Next pitch from Hines is a better one. Didn't hit anybody and got the called strike.
Yeah, Poot just didn't seem comfortable or confident fully within his stuff. Something just seemed to be slightly off with him. The way that his body language was after each and every pitch, it seemed like him personally wasn't happy with either how the ball was coming off of his hand or the control or the way it was spinning and moving. He didn't seem like himself and the kind of guy we expected to come in, to see coming into the ECCBL from high school.
1-1 runner goes, no throw from Macara. And Slickner will get in safely to scoring position. So Rosado will have an opportunity to drive in a run here with just a ball into the outfield. Although we've seen how good the relay system is for the Generals. They hose down a runner in the second frame. Hines checks the runner. His 2-1 on the way. Swing and a miss. Evens the count. Rosado's 7 for 31 in the ECCBL this summer. 2-2. Misses low. Juicing up the count. 11 starts last year for Rosado at Rutgers. 7 hits and 42 at-bats. And he hit the portal. Still trying to look for a new home. Hines will step off and adjust his cap. Come set. Checks the runner and delivers. That one's outside. So a free pass for Rosado. It looked like there was some dancing and prancing back there on second base by Slickner as Hines was in the windup that maybe threw him off a little bit.
Number 21, second baseman.
Maybe a little, but it's always so difficult going from the bullpen mounds. You hear about it at all levels to the field mound, and it's because sometimes they're different heights, they're different mounds, but also the field mound's been beaten up quite a bit. You know, the section on the rubber where your back foot is different because of the starters. The landing spot has been worn down and adjusted based on where the pitchers have been landing, and so now you've got to kind of adjust how you pitch a little bit to be able to comfortably land and execute your full mechanics.
So Perna's at the plate now, 2 for 2 today. Nice breaking ball there. Gets the second strike of the at-bat. It's an 0-2 count. That one looked almost way inside. He almost had Perna back off the plate, and then Hines was able to spin it in. No balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Runners on first and second. Hines' pitch. Swing and a miss. Ball got away briefly, but Lucara tags Perna, and that's out number 1 for Hines.
That's a big out to get. Again, we talked about it. Perna, he's 2 for 2 on the day. He's an incredibly good hitter, one of the better hitters on this team. That's why he's batting 4. So to be able to get him out as the first out of the inning, you still got 2 on, but at least now the confidence starts to infuse itself within you if you're a pitcher out there.
Spinello up now. He's 1 for 2. As Hines will check the runners. They skitter, and this could be pickle juice right here. Firing over to third, but I think he made it in time. Yes, he did. Nice play by Slickner to kind of never hesitate. It looked like he got caught, but he never looked back, never stopped, and just head down, charged over to third, and got there in time. So it'll be scored as a steal for Slickner. As now Hines has nobody dancing behind him, but he's got somebody dancing right in front of him on third base. Now the runner goes from first to second. Hines' pitch high. They're going to say he did not go on the swing. So quickly, it was a bit of a momentum shift, and after picking up out number 1, there's suddenly runners on second and third, and he's behind in the count 1-0 to Spinello.
Well, if you're Hines on that last play, the last thing you want to do is let the runner advance to third.
Swing and a miss.
By the book, what you're supposed to do is on that inside move, you don't have to throw, unlike other pickoff moves. So because of which, Hines is supposed to run at the runner and force him to commit to a bag, and then you throw to the bag. What you don't want to do is throw behind him. What he probably could have and should have done is thrown to third at the very least.
That one got away and seemingly up and over the backstop, so a run will score. Slickner gets in from third. Rosado advances to third. And it's 5-3 matrix with 1 out in the top of the 4th.
And that's now the result of defensive miscues. That should have been advancing the runners at the very least to second and third. Now you've got a run in and a runner at third because of the
1-2. Swing and a miss. Oh, rather going to say they tipped it. Looked for a second like Spinello was just waving up and feigning at that one, but he got just enough to stay alive. So the count remains 1-2. Hines has thrown 14 pitches. His 15th. Misses low and away on the fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rosado on third with just 1 out in the top of the 4th. We're playing just 7, so this half inning marks the halfway point. 2-2. Spins inside. That'll juice the count. Three balls, two strikes. Infield on the edge of the grass. The pitch on the way. That one got him on the inside corner. Pretty spin. Spinello not necessarily agreeing with it. But there's nothing he can do about it now other than sit down. Out number 2, strikeout number 2 for Hines.
Number 31, left fielder, Carter Kaminsky.
And that'll bring up Carter Kaminsky, the left fielder, who was 0 for 2. But a hit here will mark the second run of the frame. The runner on third. That one's rolled over to first, but foul. As Rosado doing a dancey dance over there 90 feet from home.
Talking again about limiting damage and out here, stopping the runner on third from scoring and keeping your team within 2 runs.
0-1. That one misses inside and low.
But again, this Generals team has to find a way defensively to be able to put up further zeros and allow their offense to come back into this game. Otherwise, the Matrix will keep tacking on a couple of more and a couple of more every inning or so and pull away further.
1-1 rolled to Crane. He gloves it and fires it, and that is the side. Not before a run scores. So the Matrix are able to get one back. They lead 5-3 as we go from the top of the fourth to the bottom of the fourth. Remember, it's a doubleheader, so we're just playing 7 here in game 1. We're past the halfway point. We're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be right back with you after this. Back with you here at Moody Park. It's a 5-3 game in favor of the New Brunswick Matrix, but the Trenton Generals are at the dish trying to do something about it. New pitcher for the Matrix. It'll be Jace Truman, Drew University sophomore, Matawan, New Jersey native. This is his 3rd ECCBL appearance and his first time not starting as his fastball is in there for a called strike to get things going. He's 2-0. He's thrown 6 innings of work. He's allowed just 1 earned run. Step up from his numbers in college as that one's inside. Started 9 games last year for Drew. Through 58 frames. Had a 4.97 ERA. Walked 23 batters to 48 strikeouts. But it's 1-1 now. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. One ball and 2 strikes. To Melton. Got Barry U at the plate. We got Drew U on the mound. 1-2. That's inside.
Melton struck out swinging last time up, so a bit more patient this time around. He was a part of, again, the first time through the lineup, aggressive swinging that costed the Generals.
2-2. Got him on the outside corner.
Number
Through
12,
man is
shortstop,
painting
Sergio
in his
Hernandez.
first at-bat. And he gets the backwards K to open things up. And this will bring up Sergio Hernandez. Maryland Eastern Shore commit. Hails from Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania. He's 6 for 27 heading into this one. He's got a double, he's got 2 RBI, but really nothing else in terms of notable offense. First pitch to him. Strike.
And for Thurman, his ability to come out here and dominate the strike zone is so incredibly crucial early in this outing because, again, he's played in 2 games so far this season, and he started both. When you start, you get significantly more time and less pressure to prepare, to warm up, to stretch, to go through your plyo throws, your stretch routine, your throwing routine. When you got to come in relief, everything's sped up. It's a lot faster, and you don't get to fully go through and have as thorough of a preparation as that one somehow skipped and hit the roof of the building here.
Yeah, it's the second time that's happened today. First time it got away and scored a run. That time just as ball 1.
But so again, to be able to get out to 2 strike counts early in your outing
That one's fouled away.
is so incredibly crucial for any pitcher to be able to display, especially at this collegiate level where you never know where you're going to be in the lineup or when you're going to get your ability and moment to go out and shine and play. And so it could be as a starter, could be as a reliever. So this also helps him prepare for the college seasons ahead.
1-2 in the dirt. So it's 2s across the board. Well, at least in terms of balls and strikes. Just 1 out for Hernandez, who's 0 for 1 today. He's made a couple of nice plays in the field, including gunning a runner down at home in the second. 2-2 on the way. That one's lined sharply up the middle and off the leg of Thruman. He's going to try to get there in time, but he won't. Firing to first. No chance. And Hernandez is aboard. Call that one a base hit with a sprinkle of bad luck if you're Thruman. It seemed like he wore it pretty well. That thing was hit pretty hard.
He seems to be all right. So that's the good news. He's going to adjust
Number 7,
himself
catcher, JC
reasonably
Lacroix.
so and take a second. It's startling as a pitcher. You don't anticipate it. You know, you're taught to finish your mechanics, so you're in a position to be ready, but you never expect it to come right at you.
It can be a tough play for anybody. As Lacar is the dish now. Runner goes from first to second, and he got caught right away. Hernandez really didn't seem like he was sure of himself as he's going to try to dive back into first, and he's out. So any positive base running momentum that Jens may have accrued in this one is immediately wiped out. As Hernandez kind of took off, and then the second he saw that Spadafora was up and ready to throw, he almost gave up. Kind of conceded it, and that's a tough. I feel like that's tough because we've seen so many throws get away from these second basemen.
We've seen throws get away. We've seen guys miss tags. We've seen guys not snap tag quickly, and so runners have been able to sneak in. We've seen some good swim move slides. And just the fact to give up, not just on the play, but almost on yourself and think, I've got no chance of getting in there. And then he stopped and then half-heartedly ran back to first. Just a strange play, and intrigued to see how head coach Braden Meskill handles this, especially a young coach. How do you handle the absent-minded play by your players?
2-1 to Lacara. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 2-2. JC Lacara, another ECCBL veteran. If I'm not mistaken, he was a Trenton General last year as well. So you got to wonder if guys on that team look at him like a true vet, or with a revolving door of players, sometimes it kind of loses its luster. 2s across the board. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. And the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. And the Generals cannot answer back. They trail 5-3 to the New Brunswick Matrix. We're into the 5th here at Moody Park. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
After 4, the Matrix
Back with you here at Moody Park.
19, Will.
Max Raymond to my left. I am Luke Lendler. And a game that initially appeared to be perhaps teetering towards a blowout has tightened up in these last couple frames. It's a 5-3 Generals lead as the first pitch of the fifth gets away. Noah Hines still on the mound. Righty heading to UMass next year. And he skittered a little bit in his opening frame, but only allowed one run. Could have been worse. 1-0. Swing and a miss. He's got Will Bethea in his sights, who came into this game hitting 4 for 20. 1-1. Pop back. Bethea, another attendee of the seemingly infinite one-word universities we got out here. I mean, he's a post-U guy. We had Drew U. We had Barry U. I don't know if that's just they're running out of ideas and they're naming colleges or something. I don't know. 1-2. Upstairs. Had just 3 at-bats his freshman year over at post. Two balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Nice upstairs off-speed action.
Number 3.
And
Bethea sits down.
Kill Cullen.
Strikeout number 2 for Hines.
3, I believe.
3, you're right. Strikeout number 3 for Hines.
Yeah, you got Perna and Spinella last inning. So now Bethea to start off this one.
So Bethea's retired. That one's upstairs inside. And so another look at Gil Cullen, for us. But the first look at Gil Cullen for Hines. 1-0. That one almost hit him again. I don't know if Cullen's seen the new Michael Jackson movie or not, but that was perfect. That little lean back. Maybe they'll cast him in the sequel. 2-0. Upstairs. Gil Cullen heading to Lynn University next year. Hit 260 his senior year at Christian Brothers Academy. He's got a friendly count here, 3-0. That one misses high. Seems like Hines is riding some high highs, but again has some low lows and hasn't been able to show us consistently what he's doing.
Yeah, the consistency in his command isn't there. The second pitch, the breaker that just kind of didn't break and spin off. You could see in his body language that something wasn't right, whether he just messed up his mechanics with the release point or if it just came out of his hand funky. But he knew out of the release that ball was not going to be a strike.
So the runner will go. That pitch is way upstairs again. The throw down, no chance. And Gil Cullen advances from first to second. Hines has got a lot of that spin, a lot of that breaking stuff. We've seen him effectively use it for looking strikeouts, even on that, making you think it's going to hit you and then just curving it inside. But it seems like of these last couple batters, he keeps trying it. He keeps missing. So we'll see if he uncorks one here. 1-0. Fastball inside there.
Yeah, there is such thing as trying too hard. When you're a pitcher, simplicity is best. Sticking with your mechanics and the reasons why you got in this game in the first place.
2-0. Misses high again.
That is now 7 consecutive balls. I think that for Hines, he's just got to go back to grassroots, his base mechanics, reset, and stick to what he does best.
3-0 pitch on the way. That one is a get me over, but the ball got away. Throw down the third. This could be an easy out. And some fancy feet. Did he get in? No, he didn't. Gil Cullen, once again, maybe he's listening to Billie Jean on the way over here or something like that, but he was trying to moonwalk his way over to that bag, but he was unable to get into the tag of Galasso. So a lucky bounce, you could say, for Hines, whose get me over strike turns into a throw down to third and an out. After Gil Cullen read it wrong, and Lacara gunned him down. 3-1. This one's fouled back, and just like that, he had a runner on second, he had 1 out, and it was a 3-0 count, and suddenly there's 2 gone, 3-2. Spot here for Hines to get out of the frame scoreless for the first time today. 5-3 lead for New Brunswick. 2 outs in the top of the 5th, full count. Hines kicks and delivers. That one's inside, almost hit him, but it didn't matter. And Spadafora, in a very eventful at-bat, will take his place at first.
Number 16, right fielder, Casey Chiola.
Now for Chiola. The streak of batting in every inning has ended, but this is now 4th AB, and he's found a way to produce offensively in 2 of the 3 at-bats already today.
First pitch to him, inside.
Had a walk, and then came around to score, and then had a sac fly that eventually led to another runner scoring back in the 2nd inning. So he's contributed offensively for the most part today, and we'll see what he can do in this situation where only a runner on first and 2 outs.
Another ball misses low. And so we're going to see a couple of white jerseys hustling to the bullpen over there. Could be some action for the Gens. 2-0. Got him on fastball strike. If my eyes do not deceive me, Jason Handfield is one going over there. Penn State Abington sophomore. Marlton, New Jersey native. Two-one on the way. That one's tased the other way and down for a base hit. We'll see if Spadafora will turn for third. He won't. Hits the brakes at second. And Chiola, like you said, 4 ABs, but finally his first hit in his 4th. And runners on first and second as Hines gets closer and closer to that 40-pitch mark.
But this is what you want to see as Meskill's going to head out there. I don't believe that he's going to be taking his pitcher out, but
at the very least, he's probably buying some time, you'd say?
Absolutely. But with Chiola, this is what you want to see out of your leadoff guy. It's simply just offensive production. You want a guy that's able to get on base, which he has in 2 of his 4 at-bats, but is also somebody that is going to be able to execute situationally, especially when you can get your bottom of the lineup to produce and get some runners on. You want someone at the top to be a leader, to be able to produce offensively. And again, this is now 4 at-bats, 3 of them he contributed offensively in a way, this time getting a base hit and getting the bat into the next guy's hands, as well as moving a runner into scoring position. So 4 at-bats, 3 of them he produced some really nice offense.
Slickner at the plate. First pitch to him. Strike. You think that chat with Meskill probably had some positive effects? Gets his pitcher Hines to focus up, lock in, and get one down the pipe to jump ahead in the count 0-1. Runners on first and second. 2 gone. The pitch. That one can't catch the corner. Well, Laquara did his best to frame that, but it was ineffective. 1 ball, 1 strike. Chiola on first, Spadafora on second. One. Got him, curveball. That had Slickner kind of like standing up straight, thinks that really didn't have a chance, but sure enough, drops in. Nice pitch by Hines. So 1 ball on 2 strikes and a chance to get out of the frame for Noah Hines. 1-2. Upstairs. Twos across the board. Runners on first and second. Hines' pitch, swing, and a liner to short off the glove of Hernandez. Couldn't get that one down. 1 run will score. Throw to third is not in time. Gets away. It could be another one. Here comes Chiola, play at the plate. Also not in time. 2-run score for the Matrix. Heady base running, taking advantage of what's in front of you for New Brunswick. And they jump out to a 7-3 lead. Seemed like a tough play for Hernandez over at short.
It was. Now we're going to get a new wing in this game, and that'll be all she wrote for Hines. But he did settle back in. He was in the zone. It's just unfortunate that the balls were just simply put in play. And part of that could have been the mound visit, but I think also part of that could have been getting the guy warming up in the bullpen. And sometimes you're a pitcher, you want to stay in the game, and all of a sudden now you feel the pressure of here's a moment where you might be yoinked, and so now you feel more incentivized to have to throw strikes.
So Hines' day is done. He got the Matrix down to their last strike in this 5th frame a couple times, but couldn't close it out. It'll be Jason Hanfield to hurl while he warms up. We'll take a quick break and be right back with you after this. Back with you here at Moody Park. It's Jason Hanfield to pitch for the Trenton Generals. Penn State Abington sophomore threw 36 and a third over there last season. Went 5-0 with a 4.46 ERA. Struck out 33 and walked 15. And right now, if you're head coach Braden Meskill, you're probably hoping he can just get you to the plate as the first pitch is upstairs. You got 2 outs already in the 5th. We're just playing 7, and you're going to try to save your arms with the doubleheader ahead. So I'm sure Meskill's hoping that Hanfield can end this game with a win or a loss, as that one's in there for a called strike.
Now you enter the tricky part of the lineup with Rosado, who's reached base safely every single at-bat. Perna, who's 2 for 3 on the day, and then Spinello, who's 1 for 3, but has been able to also produce some offense with the double.
1-1. Fouled the other way and back.
So with 2 outs, this is the real crunch time in the moment where you've got to find a way to execute. Got to get this out here, get out of the inning, and then be able to get a guy in that can throw strikes and get some outs.
Matrix down to their last strike in this inning for the 3rd time. Last 2 times they came up with RBIs. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. Just low. Lacara tried to frame it. Unsuccessful. And it'll be 2s across the board. With Slickner on second, Hanfield's got a chance to end the frame. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 7-3 lead for the New Brunswick Matrix. The pitch. Misses outside. Ball gets away. Lacara can't corral it. And Slickner will go all the way over to the 3rd. Three balls, 2 strikes, and a pair of outs. Runner on 3rd is Slickner. The pitch. Fouled back right at us. Did I flinch? Nope. Proud of myself for that one. I almost had a duck out of the way. I think our camera took a beating, though. It was a little ajar. Let's see if I can get handsy during the inning. Yeah, that's not much better. That's fine. That was pretty good. All right, I'll take that. 3-2 on the way. That one's popped up foul and tailing into the parking lot beyond first base. Sometimes you got to think on your feet. And I have the blessing and the curse of getting the nice, good seat right here behind home plate, but it means I'm also right behind the camera. 3-2. That one's low. Ball 4. It was a 1-2 count, and Hanfield couldn't close. Rosado fouled a couple off and stayed alive.
So Rosado's perfect day of reaching base safely continues. Again, single, reached on an error, walk. And now here comes Perna. 2 singles, struck out swinging on 3 pitches, though, last time up.
That was against Hines. This is a different arm. It's Hanfield. His first pitch, upstairs.
But again, Perna's first at-bat worked the count a little bit. Second at-bat, only 3 pitches. Third at-bat, 3 pitches. So he's starting to get a little bit more aggressive at the plate. We'll see.
As that pickoff attempt gets away, a run will score. So the Matrix looked like their lead may have been threatened initially for a tad there, but a 4 spot here in the top of the 5th. Have them at 8 runs, 8-3. That one's up top. 2-0 count. Two balls, no strikes. 2 gone and a runner on first. Hanfield just trying to put out the blaze. The pitch upstairs, throw back to first, not in time.
You got to be careful. Aquara's got a really strong arm, so you've got to be cautious if you're on the base paths of him.
Perna's 2 for 3. Trying to make that 3 for 4. But he faces a 3-0 count, and the pitch inside walked him. Hanfield struggling to find that zone. And it's another base runner for the Matrix in an 8-3 ball game.
Joe Spinella.
Spinella was 1 for 3. Another UMass Lowell guy. That one's upstairs. And it's tough for Hanfield right now. I mean, he just can't really find the zone. And by can't really find the zone, I mean he can't find the zone. I think that one's ball 7.
Ball 6 in
Ball
a
6 in a row.
7 in a row. Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah, it's 7 in a row.
There's parents out there with folding chairs. Somebody's got to rally him, man. I need to hear like a ball 8 chant. I gotta feel like I'm in college baseball. 2-0 inside. Ball 8 in a row.
Texas A&M. What an incredible tradition that is. One of the most scary traditions to have to face if you're a visiting pitcher.
3-0. Missed low. And he walks the bases loaded.
Number 31, left fielder.
You know,
Carter.
it's worth noting we are in mercy territory. Should he hit a bases clearing double, we reach the mercy rule. And I'm getting shushed from other parts of this press box because apparently I just jinxed it. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm a believer in that. But I'm pointing out the facts. A base clearing double here makes it a 10-run game. If it's 10 after 5 or 10 after 6, 10 after 5, we call game 1 of this doubleheader early in what looked to be a pretty competitive contest through 4 frames. As that one's sharply lined to second, and maybe I did jinx it. Crane fires over to first. That's the inning. And the Gens get out of it after walking the bases loaded, but not before a trio of runs pushes the Matrix lead to 8-3. We'll see if the Generals bats has anything to say about it. In the bottom of the 5th, I'll be right back after this.
The Generals
Back with you here
number 42,
at Moody Park.
Francis.
DJ Francis is up, and the lineup card begins to the top in the bottom of the fifth for the Generals. First pitch outside. This is a team that looked to be kind of right in it in this one up until the last frame, and all of a sudden they trail by 5 in the bottom of the fifth. But they have 9 outs to try to do some damage, and nobody knows how to do damage in this one better than Francis, who hit a home run and hits that one high, but not as far. Out towards center under it and making the catch. Probably had to go off his back foot more than he was expecting. But alas, there's one away.
A little under that was Francis. Straightened that one out, and it could have done some even more damage. But Generals are going to need every out they can get, so now it's just playing modest baseball. What the game gives you, finding a way to manufacture some runs, playing a little small ball at this point, but you've got to start to kind of scratch and claw back into this lead. You can't try to take on all 5 runs at once. You've got to just handle it as just getting the bat into the next batter's hands.
First pitch to Crane is a called strike. Crane 0 for 1 today. He's made a couple nice plays over at second. And he hits that one the opposite way, but foul.
He also walked and scored a run back in the third
He's
inning.
been effective on the base paths. He was part of that third inning explosion by Gen standards, 2 runs. But he faces an 0-2 count now against Thurman. The pitch. Missed just high. Thurman wanted that call. One, 2. Dirt. So Crane works the count even. Thurman's up to 22 pitches. Matawan, New Jersey native. Going into his sophomore year at Drew U. There's that one fouled back again. Shortening up and staying alive here is Crane.
You got to battle. You have to. Have to find a way to just piece together some sort of an at-bat and find a way to find that pitch that'll get you on base.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Thurman delivers. Misses low.
It's a good at-bat. Talk about quality at-bats, quabs. My team used to, back in high school, keep track of those. And so this is reaching that point of a quality at-bat, a high-pitch at-bat.
3-2. This one's grounded sharply to second. Perna's on it. He makes the throw. And despite going deep into the count, Crane is retired.
Number 28, first baseman.
2
Jake
gone.
Rubel.
As Jake Rubel will step up. Big tower and first baseman for the Trenton Generals. Who, you get your thumb out and you cover the runs and you cover the errors, and you just see a 7-5 hit discrepancy. You'd think this game would be a little bit closer. Those 4 errors on the side of the Trenton Generals have been a killer in those big spots. That one's a swing and a miss.
Yeah, if only. Good old story of if only.
And all those errors have been in key spots. None of them have kind of just been in an inconsequential moment. 0-1, swing and a miss. I believe, if my memory is serving me right, they have all led to runs eventually. They have contributed in some way to a run crossing the plate.
Well, that's what happens when you face a good team like the Matrix. The Matrix are a good team, currently in third, a game or so back behind the Mammoths up at the top. And so when you give good teams the opportunities to score runs, they're going to take advantage and they're going to score runs. That's just kind of how the game of baseball works and plays out. And so that's why limiting the errors and the mistakes, whether mental or physical, are so important.
1-2. That one's in the dirt. Or not even in the dirt, just a little bit low. Rupel and the entire infield was walking off. They thought that thing was a stone-cold strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth. Pitch to Rupel. Fouled back, stays alive. Camera rattled. I think it stood strong. Yeah, no, it still looks pretty good. Won't have to get out there and climb around on that fence, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But then again, I could have just jinxed it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Through man can throw, man. Retires the side. And a scoreless frame in the bottom of the 5th for the Generals. Leave their deficit at 5 runs as we head to the 6th. We're playing just 7. Let's keep that in mind. So just 6 outs to play with potentially for both of these teams, and we'll be back after this. Back here at Moody Park, Luke Lendler, Max Raymond to my left. And the Trenton Generals just trying to stay in the game, stay alive, stay within long arms reach. They trail 8-3. First pitch to Will Bethea. Almost took his belt buckle off. So it's a 1-0 count. Hanfield still on the mound. Really struggled last inning at finding the zone and throwing strikes, but he got a ground out to end it after entering with 2 outs. Swing and a miss there.
Bethea leads off the inning for the 2nd inning in a row. He struck out last time up, and he struck out the time before that. He's 0 for 2 with a walk.
1-1. That one's skipping away in the dirt. So it'll be a 2-1 count. Two balls and a strike for Hanfield. He kicks and fires. That one's way outside. Nice play by LaCara to keep it in front of him. 3-1. Misses low. Ball number 4 and walk number 4 for Hanfield,
The DH, Griffin, Cale Collins.
who seeds a free pass in his first at-bat of the 6th. So Gil Cullen's up. He's 0 for 1, but that doesn't mean he hasn't reached. The beneficiary, as that one's in there for a called strike. Beneficiary of a walk and an error. 0-1. Swing and a miss. So Hanfield jumps out to an 0-2 count here. And, you know, this is a Trenton Generals team that their arms have struggled so far this season. Kind of up and down the board. 0-2 count. Hanfield checks and delivers and hit him. Square in the back. So another free pass, or not without earning your licks first, but like I mentioned, 9th in the ECCBL in team ERA, 10th in whip, 10th in walks. Not a lot of strikeouts to their name either. And yet, you know, it's basically the sign of a 6-6 ball club. That's going to be what you get when you're 500. You're middle of the pack, so-so on the offense, slower on the pack on the pitching.
Yeah, the pitching really has not been the strong point for the Generals, and that's why they're kind of lower on. We see the teams with the stronger pitching are higher up in the standings.
0-1 to Spadafora is low.
And as the hitters have kind of adjusted to the wood bats, we see the Generals start pulling out some more wins as their offense starts to produce a bit more. But
This one's lined in the left center field. Going over is Francis. Will he get there? No, he won't. It's off the fence. Off the J&A Automotive sign, but the runners held up because they thought he might catch it, so nobody scores. Because Francis has been so good in the field, they were scared he was going to lay out and make another diving catch, so they held up. Bases loaded. And somehow on a hard hit ball to left center field, nobody scores despite runners on first and second.
You love to see players having great reactions with officials, but it's got to be a rough feeling when the home plate umpire is telling you as a catcher to hit the weight room. When you put one, that one hops the wall. But what an incredible piece of hitting that was from Spadafora.
1-0 count with the bases loaded now for Hanfield and no outs. This could get ugly. The pitch. Strike. Joe is 1 for 3 so far today. That one's popped up. He's got a hit. Pair of runs. That's what you wanted to your guy in the leadoff spot.
A walk as well.
1-2. That one got him. Spun that in, and Chula stared it down the whole way. Hanfield picks up the strikeout, his first of the afternoon. And that'll bring up Gavin Slickner to try to take advantage of this bases loaded opportunity. But now with that one gone, the double play ball is in play. First pitch from Hanfield in the dirt.
A much needed out right there on a strikeout, especially as it gives you an even better chance of getting out of this inning without allowing a run. It's still going to take a double play, ground ball, a lot of work, but
that one's fouled back.
At least increases your chances a little bit. Gives you an opportunity to make a play.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bases loaded. Hanfield's pitch. In the dirt, blocked by LaCara. Nice play to mitigate any initial damage. So it's 2-1. Hanfield kicks and fires. Misses high. That one was close. Got Slickner in his sights. 3-1. Whistles way high again. And that'll walk in a run. You get the sense, head coach Braden Meskill kind of just thinking, look, might be missing throws high, might be missing some pitches low, but I don't want to use any more arms, man. We're down 4 runs, 6 runs. We're down 6 runs. We got 6 outs left. Just go ahead.
And at this point, with a second game, another 7 innings still to have to cover today, and with the little bit longer stretch that is between Saturday to Tuesday games, not surprised to see Coach Meskill letting his guy figure out. Because, again, these guys are also looking to learn and work and improve on their skills, and so this is a great opportunity to work on.
A 1 up the middle and into the outfield for a base hit. 1 run will score, 2 runs will score. Pushing into third and getting there standing is Slickner. And so Rosado's 2 RBI single makes this an 11-3 ball game. Reminder, we're just playing 7 frames, which is, would this be the first of the doubleheader? First pitch for this one was 10:31. We're getting to that 2-hour mark pretty soon. And again, it's funny. You see the scoreboard, you see the runs, and you wouldn't realize that this game was really close for about 3 innings there in the middle.
It was, and it felt like the Generals were going to come back.
Absolutely. They had momentum.
They did, and Poot was kind of starting to roll a little bit and throw some strikes and get some quicker innings. And the Generals offensively were starting to piece together some innings, and it felt like we were going to have a nice back-and-forth battle. And the Generals were just, a couple of zeros away from really taking a lead in this one. And now all of a sudden, the Matrix, they wake up, they get their bats going, and it's a completely different story at this point.
1-1 count. That one's a called strike. Perna is 2 for 3 today. He's reached on a walk as well. Runners in the corners, 1-2 count. That one's hit hard but foul. Kind of chased that one up in the zone. He felt like you feel like he saw it. He says, "I can hit this. I probably shouldn't, but I can," and he still swung.
It's so intriguing. 2 for 3. He's reached base 3 of his 4 plate appearances, and with 11 runs, somehow he hasn't scored one of them. Just feels so strange.
1-2 outside. 2-2 the count.
11 runs. 7 different runners have contributed to those 11 runs.
2 balls, 2 strikes. This one's popped up. In the infield. Rupel coming in, calling it, but he's seating it to Lucara, who almost dropped it, but he hauled it in, had to fall to a knee, almost tripped over his helmet. But he gets the out. And there's 2 away in far from smooth fashion, but fashion nonetheless.
Number 23.
And an intriguing thought is that as that ball started tailing into fair territory, could someone have called out to say, hey, let it drop and try to get a double play?
Yeah.
Now, granted, you still have to make a throw all the way down to second and then back over to first,
Yeah.
which is where things get tricky, but
Runner goes. There is a throw. Lucara, did he get him? He didn't, and so a run will score. Took the high-risk play. Suffered the consequences. And so it's 12-3 Matrix as Slickner gallivants in from third. And Rosado is now 90 feet closer over at second.
Cora's got an arm. I'm not surprised to see him, especially with 2 outs, try to just snag that runner there and get out the inning.
A 1 into the hot corner and past the glove of a diving Galasso. Coming around third and aiming to score is Rosado. Play at the plate. Did he get him? Oh, he lost the ball on the tag. Couldn't corral on the transition. Runner's going from second to third. Lucara didn't see him. And so it's a double. No error. And it was a tough play. It seemed like Lucara kind of lost his bearings a tad on the missed tag. Didn't realize he lost the ball. And it's 13-3, which means, and I'm going to say it, we are into mercy rule territory. It's a 10-run game. It's the top of the 6th. If there are no runs in the bottom of the 6th, that will be it. But, of course, now that I said that, there's going to be an 8 spot in the bottom of the 6th. That's apparently how it works. First pitch to Kaminsky is a ball. He's 0 for 4 today. It's funny to see those numbers in a lineup that's been as good as the Matrix has been. One count. Hanfield, 49 pitches. His 50th is outside. Two 1. This one's popped up. This could be the frame. Going back on it. Lots of bodies. There it drops. It gets through the glove of Busco. It seemed like he had to come all the way in from left to make the play. Run scores. Spinello reaches home from third. And just Hernandez, Galiso, and Busco really couldn't communicate that well over there and left. And it goes from bad to worse to the Trenton Generals.
For Kaminsky, getting to celebrate with his teammates, finally reaching base safely.
First pitch to Bethea. He hits this one high and hard. Left field. Back is Busco looking up. He dropped it off of his glove. A run will come around and score. Into second is Kaminsky. Busco just never tracked it. Oh, to the run score. Oh, it was close. Carr almost had him. It looked like Kaminsky was kind of just jogging his way around, but Bethea's at second, and alarm siren sounding beyond right field, maybe a little bit late for what I would call an apt description of what's going on with Trenton right now. This is a tough showing here in the top of the 6th.
Number 3, the DH, Griffin Kilcullen.
I mean, is it crazy to say they almost look checked out?
In a way, and it's when you give up a big inning like this, 7 runs in the 6th inning, when you were already down 5, it does feel depleting and defeating.
That one's popped up. Lucara can't find it in the sun. It might not even be fair. It's not. It's onto the pavement past the home dugout.
giving up a 7 spot at this point when you were in the game and then it started crawling away from you, and now it feels completely out of reach. And knowing you've got another game to come, it's so easy as a general to just be like, all right, let's just look to this next game where we get a fresh, clean slate, blank canvas to get to paint and design in our own vision. Because at this point, it really does feel like this game's over.
1 ball, 1 strike to Kilcullen. He'll swing through that one. 1-2.
If you're a general, that is. Of course, you also still get the bottom of the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Never know what can happen. We've seen some crazy things happen.
Crazy, wild things. 1-2. Fouled back, shaking the camera. Hopefully it's still good. And big reveal time. Yeah, we're doing great.
So, well and truly, it feels over. It's not totally over yet, but at this point, we're in a place where it's easy to start checking out of this game and thinking about the game too.
1-2 from Kilcullen is fouled back. Bethea on second. 7 runs in this 6th inning. The pitch. Fouled back again. Kilcullen's just over 1. Walked once. Reached on an error. So should he get a hit here? I was going to say everybody would have a hit, but I would be wrong. Actually, no, everybody would not have a hit because Bethea technically doesn't have a hit, but he got him on the corner. Strikeout for Hanfield. Kilcullen sits down, but not before the damage is done, Max. 7 runs in the top of the 6th. Make this a 15-3 ball game in favor of the New Brunswick Matrix. And everything that makes them 7-4 is on full display in this frame. Generals have a chance to push this to a 7th inning by scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th, and so we'll see if they can do that after this. Lucas Albert going to lead things off with the Trenton Generals, and given that this might be his last at-bat, it's the time I get to comment on the fact that he went to Germantown Academy, who I played against in high school. They kicked our butt pretty consistently in most sports, but just worth noting, it's always nice to see some PA representation out here. And he was pretty good there, too. All Interac first team, 125 career hits in high school. He faces an 0-1 that snaps outside for a 1-1. I mean, we saw the bunt he laid down earlier. Not to be lost in the sauce of a 12-run deficit is how, honestly, solid of a game he's had. And that's a continuation of his form this summer. He's hitting 15 for 35 through 10 games. And the kind of guy that I'm sure every coach would want to have on his team. Smart base runner, knows how to lay down a bunt, good fielder.
I think at the end of the day, his stat line is going to be one of those that is going to kind of be overlooked. But 2 for 2 so far with 3 total bases accumulated, the single and then double, 2 RBIs, and a stolen bag.
He's been their MVP.
Absolutely.
2-2 facing him now, though. Thurman delivers and is upstairs. Full count.
And Now he's worked the count. This is going to be twice as many pitches in this at-bat as he's seen in his prior 2.
Wow. 3-2. Fouls that one back.
So that number goes even higher as he about to seize his 7th pitch of the at-bat. Saw only 3 pitches in his first 2. Laid down the bunt on the first pitch, then hit the double on the second pitch of what was his second at-bat. So now he's showing off all of his skills, all the tools that you could possibly use. Shows the pop, shows the bunting ability, shows the speed.
3-2. This one's hit hard into the gap. Coming on is Chiola. He will miss on the dive. So around first and heading to second is Albert. He's going to get there standing. And his strong day continues. 3 for 3, 2 doubles. And the Generals have a runner in scoring position in the bottom of the 6th, trailing 15-3.
I think the only unfortunate thing was that he thought that was going to be an out so much that he wasn't running full speed. If he just took off, I believe he could have been easily standing over on third base.
Number 30, left fielder.
As
John
Chiola
Briscoe.
lays out and makes a nice attempt at trying to get to that ball, puts the body on the line to try to get the final couple of outs and close out this game and get ready for the next one, but just a bit short.
That one's upstairs. One 0 to Busco. That one's in the dirt, and it gets away. So Albert will get to third. A runner on third here for the Generals with nobody gone, and Busco at the plate. Busco 0 for 0 today. And we're here in the 6th.
And for Braden Meskel, what you're looking to see is your team battle. That's at this point, that's what you want to see is that you want to see them have some fight, because as you get down to the wire, there are going to be games.
And that one gets away. Albert's home.
There are going to be games where you're down, you're trailing, it's going to be defeating, you're going to have a big lead, and then all of a sudden give it up. And so what you want to see is your team not roll over, not give in to the deficit, and at least show some fight. And at least Albert so far has shown some fight as he gets himself home.
Yeah, what a day he's having. Again, it will likely get lost in a big defeat. 3-0. Gets him across the dish with a strike. Three balls, 1 strike, nobody on. 15-4 lead for New Brunswick. That one swing and a foul back. So it's 3-2. See if Busco gets his first at-bat, truly, of the day. He's had a trio of plate appearances, but no at-bats. 3 balls, 2 strikes, pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, he got him. High heat from Thurman. Busco chased it, and there's 1 away in the 6th.
He did get his at-bat.
Yeah.
Number 27, the EH, Chase Garrow.
Now you're Chase Garrow 0 for 1, struck out in the first inning, walked in the third.
First pitch to him is inside.
And it's just incredible because we see the lineup for the Generals even moving in the first couple of innings, and then the 4th inning, 1, 2, 3 basically. 5th inning, 1, 2, 3.
1-0. That one got him on the corner. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Swing and a miss. After this doubleheader against the Matrix, the Generals are going to face the Kings on Tuesday, the Caps on Thursday, and they got a doubleheader with the Kings on Saturday. So a trio of games against some New Jersey foes. Is a swing and a miss there from Garrow. Sits him down. He's now 0 for 2 today.
Back-to-back Ks for Thurman.
Number 14, third baseman, Chris Galafo.
Matrix, meanwhile, got this doubleheader on the road against the Generals today. Then they play the Dirty Birds on Tuesday, face the Kings on Thursday, and then they have a doubleheader at home against the Capitals on Saturday. Looking ahead for them. And they're a team that 3 seed right now, doing their best to maybe extend the gap on those below them in their division. 1-0 upstairs. Generals down to their last out here in the bottom of the 6th. Usually we play 7, but Mercer Rule in effect with an 11-run deficit on the board. Truman comes set, kicks and delivers the 2-0, and he misses on the outside corner. It's 3-0.
This is unfamiliar waters for Truman, as he's really been pumping strikes. So strange to see him throw so many balls in a row.
And ball 4 is a low fastball. That'll put Galasso
Number 44, right
on
fielder,
first.
Lucas Milton.
Speaking of Golasso, you watched the U.S. game yesterday?
I did.
It looked pretty good again.
They did. They really did, and this is starting to get exciting because I
Yeah.
feel like USA men's soccer, they haven't really performed that well at World Cups. So I'm eager to see, as I believe they are now the second team
Yep.
to formally clinch their group, and the
Mhm.
first, intriguingly enough, was Mexico.
Yeah,
So the host nations.
doing well so far. And Canada had one of the biggest wins in their country's history last week against Qatar. It's-
6-0, right?
Yeah, 6-0. Qatar was down to 9 men for a good chunk of the second half, but it was still, impressive for a team that had actually never won a game in a World Cup. Upstairs on that pitch, 1-1. But it should be. I'm pretty intrigued to see how far the U.S. can go. It feels like there's the most excitement about that team in a long time is crackling around the country right now with how good they've looked. 1-1. Nice curveball there. Drops that in for a called strike. And now down to their last strike are the Trenton Generals. The Matrix just ahead by a little bit and then blew the game wide open in the 5th and 6th. 1-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. He got him. Through man, 56 pitches to close it out.
For the Generals,
And that is the game. A 7 spot in the top of the 6th. Really the difference in this one. A 15-4 dominant win in game 1 of the doubleheader
the Generals
for the New Brunswick Matrix. I mean, you look up and down the lineup, lots of guys had really, really good games. I think you got it. One of the guys I want to tip my hat off to are Slickner and Rosado in that 2 and 3 spot. Slickner had 4 runs. Rosado had 3 RBI. Slickner had 2 RBI. Both of those guys took advantage of the errors and the walks and really ran the bases pretty well. That's who I'd look at as my standout performers of the game.
Absolutely, and of course, can't forget Albert for the Generals.
Of course.
3 for 3, 2 doubles and a single, a run scored, 2 RBIs, a stolen base. Checks off almost every single productive offensive stat that you could seemingly record, especially within the 3 at-bats that he had. So a great game for Albert as well, even in the loss. There are some shining lights and some stars that we can find.
That's the best part about baseball. It's the best part about a doubleheader. They got to turn around and play in half an hour. And so maybe the Generals can break even because 15-4, it's fairy dust. It goes away, and truly it doesn't matter for game 2. Haskup gets the win. He goes 3 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. A pretty good performance from him today.
Yeah, and also a great performance there from Truman, who recorded 6 strikeouts, including striking out 3 guys in his last inning of work. 3 innings, 6 Ks, and allowed only 2 base runners, a single and a walk through his 3 innings of work. So a great outing for him as well as the pitching. Again, proved why the Matrix are one of the top teams in the Liberty Division. The Matrix, the Kings, the Mammoths all have really good pitching, and so that's why they've been able to stand out above the rest within this division in the ECCBL.
That pitching can really be a separating factor now and towards the end of the season when we get to that postseason play. So it'll be interesting to see how the Generals, one of the weaker pitching teams, can respond in game 2 of a doubleheader when the arms really, in that game 2, you got to have good arms to come out on top. But that'll do it for us for game 1 here at Moody Park. Game 2 is coming up soon, so make sure you